In this video, we're gonna find out if a max buffed Sentry Champion can take down the ELITE Bloonarius. We did try to take down ELITE Bloonarius using the maxed buffed Bloon exclusion zone not too long ago, and we did take down tier 4 just barely, but tier 5 was not even close. So then I wondered, except for the Temple and VTSG, is there any tower that when max buffed can solo ELITE Bloonarius? And I thought the best tower to try is the one that responds best of all towers to buffs, the Sentry Champion. As most of you probably already know, the Sentry Champion, when given extra attack speed, doesn't only apply the attack speed to itself and the turrets that it places down, but also to the speed at which it places the turrets down. Combine that with some extra damage and debuffs, and you might just have a chance at taking down ELITE Bloonarius. And we're not just going to try to take down the final tier when it's max buffed, we're also going to try to take down every single tier up to tier 5 using only the Sentry Champion. I think I'm going to try to survive the earlier tiers without debuffs, but for tier 5 I'm definitely going to need that, because without them I'm pretty sure there's no shot. Actually using the anti-regrow ability, thank you for reminding me about that every time I use a Sealy. Alright, just gonna finish this round and then we're all set for tier 1. Tier 1 shouldn't be too tough, so I think just a Sentry Champion without really any buffs should be enough. Now, let's see here. I can give camo detection using the totem, and the explosions from the sentries can pop purples. So I think we might be fine just like this. I'll give it a go. I mean, tier 1 isn't that tough even on Elite, so I think this guy's gonna be able to do it. We're doing quite well so far, and he hasn't really taken too much damage from these explosions yet. Those are actually pretty darn good. And the insides are getting taken out too. I'm a little hesitant on using... Oh wait, here we go. Camo. Gonna go ahead and use the totem. I'm not sure when I can use that totem, because I really don't want to be in a situation where I get overrun. But Sealy might... Does she decamo bloons at this level? I'm not sure. This is doing incredibly well though. I mean, he's not even gonna make it halfway through the track. And here we have camo purples. Oh no! I messed up the totem timings. You gotta be kidding me. Alright, I'm just gonna do that, a little decamo sub, and that takes care of that. I mean, this actually went by a lot quicker than I expected. Wow, this one actually slaughtered tier 1. Okay, on to the next. For the next tier, I'm pretty sure we can do almost the same thing, except maybe we add an overclock and a call to arms. And I think that might be enough. Because, I mean, we took down tier 1 very fast, and these two attack speed buffs combined, due to how this tower works, should be enough to take down tier 2 pretty easily as well. So we can keep these farms. And we might as well start, like, just use the abilities right away, because even though he's, like, mostly out of range, you're still placing down the sentries faster, so... You might as well use the abilities whenever, really. And I think I'm going to go ahead and juggle back and forth. So I'm going to use the overclock now and go back and forth. That way we always have something active, so there's no way we're going to get overrun. I said this was going to take down this tier easily, but I don't know about easily, because it's taking a bit longer than I expected, honestly. But I'm certainly not concerned. We're taking care of the insides quite easily. The explosion from these sentries are really good at taking care of the insides, so not too worried about losing against this tier. I mean, actually the insides are getting pretty far here. A couple of skulls from now, that might be a problem. Or right now? Okay. Let me just go ahead and time my abilities differently, so I have both the overclock and the call to arms, and then the insides should be taken care of. And you know what I'm gonna do? I'm actually gonna go ahead and let's get rid of that farm. And in a second here, I'm gonna buy Homeland Defense, just to be sure that I can take out the insides of these last few skulls. So tier 2 was a bit harder than I expected. Given how easy tier 1 was, I thought this tier was gonna go down much faster than this, but nevertheless, that's tier 2 done. Oh, I'm gonna go ahead and get myself a Chinook and move some towers around, and I'm also gonna go ahead and get an Ultra Boost so I can start doing that right now, so we can, be prepared for the next tier. Now, we do have quite a bit of money, so maybe we want to get a temple all ready for tier 3. That would probably be a bit overkill, but why not? Or actually, no. Let's screw the temple for this tier and just do Perma Brew and Homeland and Ultra Boost. Okay, this one is gonna be a bit interesting actually, because we have a decent... Wait, oh right, I moved the Sealy. I forgot to move the totem. This one is out of reach. It will be interesting to see whether or not this is gonna be enough. I have not placed down an Energizer, so I don't have the greatest uptime on my abilities yet. And looking at the damage here, it's not looking too great. I think I'm definitely at least gonna have to add a call to arms here. And probably let's go ahead and add that Energizer too. Okay, I mean now it's certainly starting to look a bit better. Watch these bads here, how quickly they get melted here. And now Homeland is not even active. Only call to arms. Boom. But I'm honestly still a bit concerned. I mean, if we would have gone with the temple already, this would have been pretty easy. But now we're only halfway. You know what? I'm gonna go ahead and do this to be safe. Put a cripple Moab on strong. Wow, that really does do a big difference, because I mean, we don't have a temple right now, so it doesn't really do a lot of damage. So adding a cripple really does wonders. Yeah, look at this. These insides are getting quite far, so without the cripple, that would have been tough. But we do take down tier 3. Nice. And I'm pretty sure we have enough cash now that we can actually go straight for the true Sun God for tier 4. And I think we're gonna do that. So I'm just gonna farm for a few more rounds, and then I'm gonna begin selling all of this and making some moves and creating the final setup ready for tier 4. Let's go ahead and create the TSG right there. So now that I have the TSG here, I'm going to move my Sentry Champion to just barely in range of the TSG, and then I'm gonna block off this whole area with villages or something so that the sentries can't spawn there, and then I'm gonna get some Ice Monkey to freeze all of this, so all of the sentries will spawn right here. Get some ice right there, and then I can place this one right there, sell that one, technically on land here. We're gonna get a primary mentoring right here, so that we have some decreased cooldown for the glue storm. Not gonna get the primary expertise because then it will attack, I don't want that. Let's see, we're also gonna go ahead and get this guy because, well, he buffs Pierce. We are going to get the bottom path because that improves the cooldown for heroes, and with Monkey Knowledge and an Energizer, that's gonna give 100% uptime on Isili's totem. So that's pretty good. The only thing that is left is really to hook up some of these tech bots and move these two in position, but I don't think I'm gonna do that until tier 5. Tier 4 is gonna be very easy, so just to try to keep things clean, I'm not gonna use the glue storm and I'm not gonna move these two into position. I'm just gonna let this guy do his thing, and then we'll do everything for tier 5. So tier 4 has 8 million HP and tier 5 has 40 million. So we're talking 5 times as much for the next tier. But yeah, I mean, look at this. I'm fast forwarding right now and the lag is pretty darn crazy, but we're taking out the boss very fast as well. Let's see what happens to these fortified bads as soon as they land. Yep, that's about 2 seconds and then they're gone. Poof. Now, while this tier is going down very easily, the next boss tier is going to be so difficult that I'm not sure how well we're going to do. So if I don't beat it on the first try, I'm going to retry it and then buy and resell Homeland Defense for 100% uptime. Let's do a pop count check here. 13 million and rising by somewhere between 50 and 100k per second, I'd say. That's pretty darn good. And as the boss gets to this area, it will take damage from all of these explosions as well. Now, I'm not sure how big of a deal the explosions are at this point when it's attacking so darn fast with debuffs and damage buffs. So I'm guessing it's a smaller portion of the damage, but it's still pretty significant. And there we go. Now I'm gonna go ahead and move my brittles into position. And I'm also gonna go ahead and tech bot the glue storm. And why don't we upgrade this village to tier 4 as well? Give some more range to these guys. And you know what? I'm gonna place another brittle right here to block off this spawn so we don't get any sentries right here. Don't want that. You know what? I'm gonna place one here as well. That makes it very convenient because the boss is gonna make its way here. So then we can sell these ones and upgrade one of these to tier 5 later. Place your bets. Without selling and rebuying Homeland, is this guy going to be able to solo or not? Without selling and rebuying for 100% uptime on Homeland, I am not that confident. I think it's going to be pretty close, but I'm not sure. But let's give him a shot. He is well within range now and taking maximum damage pretty much. Not quite. He's still missing some explosion damage, but he's taking most of the damage that he will. And it's not that inspiring. It doesn't seem like it's enough for me. I'm gonna go ahead and speed this up. This is gonna lag quite a bit. We're gonna fast forward for a while here. Take a look in a moment. We've now dealt 10 million out of 40 million damage, so we're a quarter of the way there. And to be fair, the beginning of the track here, he can't attack for a couple of seconds right at the start and in a portion of the first loop here. And he doesn't take any explosion damage for that first 1 or 2 skulls, so he might actually have a chance here. I counted and I think it's approximately like 80k damage a second. Oh, and maybe I should add another sniper, like a main Moab set to last, because the rounds are going by pretty quickly. Let's do that. Set him to last. That may save us a little bit of time because we can't reach round 140 because then it's just over. We're now halfway there. 20 out of 40 million damage done. And in terms of track length, I mean, there is a shot. I'm more worried about the rounds. And this main Moab is not really helping that much because, I mean, look at this. There's just a beam of destruction that just obliterates everything that enters it. So, yeah, I mean, good luck stalling something here. Wow, we just took out another skull, and I think it's time now that we sell this super brittle and upgrade this one over here. And we're actually doing really well on damage. I'd say I'm now convinced that we do have the damage, as long as we can do it before round 140. And this is the last skull right here. Insides I'm not worried about at all, because anything other than the boss can be considered butter. And the main Moab really did come in clutch here. We've been stalling SZOMG off screen here for a long time now. Round 131 has been going on forever. And look at that! I really didn't think that this guy was going to beat it without me selling and rebuying Homeland, but by God, he did. GG's. While we are on an easy map, we're not on logs or anything, so this tower being able to pretty much solo ELITE Bloonarius is pretty darn impressive. Anyway, leave a like if you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next one.